Hi, welcome to this part of my review featuring the Legacy of Cthulhu or Cthulhu. If you haven't seen the other parts, or rather part 1 of this review, featuring this tabletop RPG that you can play solo, cooperative, or as a traditional multiplayer experience, please check out the playlist in the description below. This time we are going to talk about character creation, survivors. To create your survivors in this tabletop RPG, you need to follow a few simple steps. First, you assign the values 4, 3, and 2 to the attributes or statistics of body, presence, and mind. The bigger the value, the better your character is with that statistic. You add 5 to your body, presence, and mind values to calculate your hit points, stance, and willpower. You choose 3 skills. Each skill gives you a +2 bonus on checks of the statistic to which it is associated with. You pick your starting items, thinking carefully about the items you choose since there will be no stores to buy extra equipment. At last, if your character is versed in the sorcery of the Great Old Ones, you choose the spells that you know. When it comes to statistics, they are pretty self-explanatory. You have body, which represents your character's strength, agility, and resilience. You also have presence, which represents your character's appearance, charisma, and ability to manipulate others. You also have mind, which represents your character's intelligence, reasoning, and resolve. Hit points represent, of course, the amount of damage and injuries your character can endure before becoming unconscious. When your hit points fall to 0, your character is rendered unconscious and dies if no one is around to help them. When it comes to your stance, it represents how firm and steadfast your character is in social situations, and if they are feared or respected when engaging in human interaction. If your stance falls to 0, you find yourself demoralized. Then we have willpower, which represents the amount of mental damage that your character can endure, overcoming hardships, resisting madness, and related things. When your willpower falls to 0, you find yourself apathetic and just one step away from insanity. When it comes to hit points and willpower, you can recover as you rest, and if you receive the proper care, you can recover even more. Skills represent that your character is qualified in certain areas of knowledge. If you do not have the skill associated with a check, you only add the value of the main stat required to the number rolled on the d10. So you have skills such as Arcana, Art, Athletics, Investigation, Melee Combat, Ranged Combat, Technology, and so forth. Pretty self-explanatory. Now, when it comes to starting items, you start with a few basic resources. You choose a weapon from a table and armor from another table. You choose a piece of equipment for another table, and then you roll 2 random items from yet another table. You begin with a number of units of food, randomly determined, and units of medicine and of ammo. You have a list of common weapons such as knives, broadswords, rifles, grenades. There are also chainsaws, grenade launchers, katana, nail guns, sword canes. When it comes to armor, it reduces damage, of course. You have heavy clothes, perhaps leather armor, or even tactical or even medieval armor. There are shields, of course, as well. You also have a table of equipment with things such as backpacks, flashlights, professional kits, radio communicators, walkie-talkies, and so forth. And there is a table of random items. Perhaps you start the game with a vehicle, or even an artifact of great power. And this concludes this part of the review. In the next part, we are going to talk about the sorcery of the Great Old Ones. I really like this character creation process. It is quite simple, yet there is a bit of depth. Thanks to the results of the tables, you can more or less come up with a background for your character. And because you usually play either cooperative or solo, or you can also play with a game master, but I think that embarking on this terrifying, madness-inducing adventure, it's going to be quite exciting to see how everyone in the team brings something to help the team survive any situation. Thank you for watching this part of the review, and thank you for your likes and your comments. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know. And thank you so much to those of you that are going the extra mile to support the channel. If anyone else wishes to further support the channel, the information on how to do that will be in the description below. And remember, it is better to roleplay and fail in character than not to roleplay and fail as a player. Once again, thank you, and see you later.